Welcome back to our world. Tonight, the world of Scarlett O'Hara and Rhett Butler, the world created by a tiny Atlanta woman, Margaret Mitchell, in the only novel she ever wrote, a novel that took her 10 years to write. It was an instant smash, sold 330,000 copies in 3 months in the summer of 1936. The publishers wanted $100,000 for the movie rights, but Hollywood did not jump at the bait. Civil War pictures were box office poison. Finally, a reluctant David Selznick bought the movie rights for $50,000 and set out to make a silk purse out of a silk purse. It almost came unraveled many times.
It's the story of complete chaos, out of which, I swear to you, rose the phoenix of this great masterpiece. Nobody liked anybody else on the picture. None of the men ever wanted to be in the picture, had to be persuaded and sold and kicked in the pants to do it. The hours were intolerable. We changed cameramen, we changed directors, we changed casting in midstream. We did all of the worst things that can happen to a picture.
Perhaps the best or the luckiest thing to happen to the picture was simply its producer, David O. Selznick. If he was his own Ahab, then his own Great White Whale was a movie that didn't yet exist. And if he made nervous wrecks of the people around him, he also made the picture everybody was betting he couldn't make, but not overnight.
He had just discovered Benzedrine, or Benzedrine had just arrived in the world. I don't know. So he ate it like popcorn.
Remember the Tarleton twins? Fred Crane played Brent and watched Selznick.
They say trifles make perfection, but perfection is no trifle. Well, Selznick was a man like that.
The excitement of his ideas, the brilliance of his thinking, as well as the aggravations of his working hours, which, you know, sometimes we'd stay in the projection room till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and he's popping the Benzedrine, you know, but we're all falling asleep. He was a fascinating man to work for and the most difficult man I have ever known.
Lydia Schiller, his script supervisor, would not disagree about the difficulty.
Selznick was always rewriting. He couldn't look at a script without consciously or unconsciously rewriting the scene.
To get a script that was satisfactory to Mr. Selznick was just hell on wheels. He had 7 or 8 writers, and in the end, wound up doing the final version himself.
Selznick rewrote F. Scott Fitzgerald's words. Selznick rewrote Ben Heck's words. And Selznick rewrote the words of the man who finally got the writer's credit, Sidney Howard. As far as directors, George Cukor was the first, then Sam Wood was hired to stand in for Victor Fleming till he finished his nervous breakdown. And if the American public was certain Clark Gable was Rhett Butler, Gable was not. But Louis B. Mayer was Selznick's father-in-law. Gable worked for Mayer. Even Gable was certain about that. So one thing led to another.
The casting of every part was a difficult thing, but the men were almost impossible. Clark Gable, he was trying to get a divorce from his wife, Rhea. And she was adamant. She just wasn't going to have it. And Clark was desperately in love with Carol Lombard. And so the only way he would ever say yes was through the divinations of Mr. L.B. Mayer, who said to his wife, if you will divorce Clark, we will give you $500,000, which is more money than she'd ever heard of in her life, provided you get Clark to play the part. And so in order to get the $500,000, she not only agreed to the divorce, but told Clark she would give it to him only on condition that he play this role. So that's how he finally got Gable, a very reluctant Gable.
Selznick got Gable. Mayer got 50% of the profits plus distribution rights. And we got the right Rhett Butler. Yes, we did. Olivia de Havilland, who played Melanie, agreed. Gable still didn't.
What was so touching about him was that he knew that the whole world had a very definite idea of Rhett Butler. He was terrified of not fulfilling their notion of the character of Rhett Butler. He felt that it was unmanly to cry. I suppose he'd never done that before, because it wasn't the male image, it wasn't the Clark Gable image as the great superstar. Well, Victor Fleming said, Clark, really, it will turn out so well if you do cry. And then you could just sense that he had made up his mind that he was going to commit himself, and he would do it. And he wept.
And then when she told me, there on the steps, what did I do? What did I say? I laughed and I said,
but you didn't mean it, I know.
It was a most thrilling thing, and I thought, that's a manly man.
Another reluctant star was Leslie Howard, who played Ashley, but Selznick lured him with $76,000.
Leslie Howard was completely indifferent. He wouldn't read the book and never did read the book. Indifferent as he was, he never learned any lines except the ones he was immediately involved in tomorrow.
Leslie was also a complex person, and when we were filming, he seemed to me in a rather distressed, well, melancholy state of mind. And I think it may have had something to do with the fact that he was playing Ashley. Ashley knew that the war between the North and the South would break out and feared that the South would lose. Leslie Howard, as an Englishman, feared that war would break out between England and Germany, and England might lose. And indeed, we were still doing retakes when the war did break out.
Old Miss Slatter, she come hot-footing up here after Miss Ellen like she always do when anything wrong.
Selznick got a lot of unsolicited casting advice. Bing Crosby had a candidate for Mammy, and Eleanor Roosevelt wrote from the White House suggesting her cook for the part. The cook did not get a screen test, but Hattie McDaniel did, got the part, and played it unforgettably. Then there was Prissy.
quiet space.
Come, Butler! Come, Butler! Come, Butler! You come out here in the street to me. The Yankees is coming. They'll kill us all. They'll run bayonets in our stomachs.
Butterfly McQueen, who did that sterling part as Prissy. She was a very intelligent woman, a good actress, and she hated the idea of depicting some sort of a dim-witted slave like she did. But this has been the thing that she is identified with, and anyone ever sees her remembers those lines.
I don't know nothing about birthing babies.
Butterfly McQueen didn't think that being the comedy relief was very funny.
People like Prissy. I think she's stupid and backward, but most people say she's cute. Mammy and I guess all the black servants were comedy relief. People could relax and laugh when we came on scene. I hated it, and I didn't want to do what they asked me to do, but I did. I did everything except I wouldn't let them slap me, and I didn't want to eat the watermelon, which is silly. I could have ate it and spat out the seeds and sang, but I was just going through a phase that I didn't want to eat watermelon. It was very silly, I guess.
Tara was a fictional plantation. Even the Hollywood set was a facade. But like every actress in America, Evelyn Keyes wanted to live there as Scarlett O'Hara.
The secret dream, of course, would be to play Scarlett O'Hara. Would be wonderful. I had no idea of doing it. I didn't know how to act, first of all. But that shouldn't stop me, should it? Not knowing how to act.
Selznick was determined to have an unknown play Scarlett. For 2 years, he scoured America. Girls came out in swarms from behind lunch counters, from beauty parlors and finishing schools. Kay Brown led the search.
He said he was going to send me through the South looking for Scarlett. I said, over my dead body, you're going to send me through the South looking for Scarlett. But of course, those were the things that made Selznick. That was the most tremendous thing that ever happened. I didn't want to do it at all.
In Atlanta, in one day, 500 hopefuls turned out. Selznick spent at least $50,000 interviewing 1,400 would-be Scarletts before confessing to the greatest failure of my career, end quote.
We were really looking for Scarlett, but you don't find Scarletts, you know.
What's the matter, Miss Scarlett? Well, here's Scarlett O'Hara.
The South wanted Tallulah Bankhead or a Southern girl. The North wanted Katharine Hepburn. The West wanted Joan Fontaine.
All around Hollywood, and every studio wanted their star to be Scarlett. So that's why all the testing took place.
Oh, Ashley, you're wrong. I do want to escape, too. I'm so tired of it all. I've struggled for food and for money. I've weeded and hoed and picked cotton and even plowed until I can't stand it any longer.
Oh, Ashley, you're wrong. I do want to escape, too. I'm so very tired of it all. I've struggled for food and for money. I've weeded and hoed and picked cotton. I've even plowed until I can't stand it another minute.
Oh, Ashley. Ashley, I do want to escape, though. Oh, Ashley, I'm so tired of everything. I've struggled for food and money. I've weeded and hoed, picked cotton, and plowed until I just can't stand it another minute.
Jean Arthur was an old friend of Selznick's. She would have been all right. All of them would have been all right, but he was looking for the perfect one. And the closest we could get to a perfect Scarlett, that is, a woman who could claw her way to the top and who was really the first woman's libber who fought the world and won. The closest to that personality in the testing was Paulette Goddard.
Why, Charles Hamilton, you handsome old thing, you. Did you think it was kind of you to bring this good-looking brother of yours down here to break our poor, simple country house? Listen, I want to eat barbecue with you, Charles Hamilton, so don't you go philandering with any other girl, because I'm mighty jealous.
Quiet, speak. All right. And you want to show the back of the thing?
Yes.
You want to turn around? Now turn around.
Well, goodbye now.
But Paulette Goddard wasn't proper enough to play the improper Scarlett. Miss Goddard was living with Charlie Chaplin. Selznick told her she could have the part if she could produce a marriage license. But if Gable played his part to get a divorce, Miss Goddard would not get married to play her part.
The tests for Scarlett, of course, are fascinating to look at today. Everybody had a different concept.
And probably nobody had a closer view than Douglas Montgomery, the actor who got paid to kiss the contestants, but not to judge them. In this test, the man is being screened. It's Melvin Douglas testing for the part of Ashley, or maybe for the part of Douglas Montgomery. It said Selznick liked what he saw, but not enough.
Say that you love me. Say that you love me.
Don't.
Still no Scarlett, and it was time to start shooting the movie. Selznick had to clear out his back lot anyway, so he began with the most spectacular scene in the film, the burning of Atlanta.
Mr. Selznick just flipped. He said to me, "She is everything I dreamed of. Now, if she can only act."
Ashley, let's run away. I'm tired looking after the folks. Someone can take care of them. We go to Mexico. They want office in the Mexican army. We'd be so happy there. I'd work for you. I'd do anything for you. You know you don't love Melanie. And Melanie can't. Well, Dr. Fontaine said she could never have any more children, and I could give you.
That, dear,
Do you think I could ever forget it if you've forgotten it? Can you honestly say you don't love me?
No, I don't love you.
It's a lie.
And of course, she was a brilliant actress. They tested her, silent test, wardrobe test. She was just the ideal. She was the most glowing, vibrant, dynamic woman I had ever met.
Don't.
You love me.
No, don't.
You love me.
No, don't.
You love me. You love me.
Do this. I tell you, we won't do it. It won't happen again. I'll take Melanie and the baby. And go.
Say it. You love me.
All right, I'll say it. I love your courage and your stubbornness. I love them so much that a moment ago I could have forgotten the best wife a man ever had. But Scarlett, I'm not going to forget her.
I loved her. I loved her beauty, I loved her talent, and I loved the fact that she represented something that women were not at that time. Namely, strong, persuasive, determined. They were going to get to the top, and she clawed her way right up.